D. Miller for the three. Game time! So what exactly is the Caitlin Clark effect, and how is that affecting women's basketball today? Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna keep it real with you.
So just as one example, I can tell you I was super invested in what happened in women's basketball in the Final Four this year. I've always followed it, always had an interest, but this year I wanted to see what was going on with Caitlin Clark and how far was that gonna go. So before we get into all of that, let's find out who Caitlin really is and what has she done up till now to be notable. Because I think what you're gonna find is that she's been absolutely outstanding.
If you were an opposing coach game planning to stop Caitlin Clark, what would you do?
Pray.
During her 4-year career at Iowa, she shattered all kinds of records both at the Big Ten level and the NCAA level. What am I talking about? We're talking about 3,951 points. We're talking about 1,144 career assists. We're talking about almost 1,000 rebounds. These numbers are unbelievable. In addition to that, she's scoring 28.4 points per game, and she's made over almost 550 three-pointers. Her records of 201 three-pointers and 1,234 points in one season is also another record. Clark also finished as a record holder with 491 points, 152 assists, and 78 three-pointers in the women's tourney all-time play, among her other significant records. Everyone knew that Caitlin was going to be drafted number 1 in the WNBA draft. There was no question about that ever. I think one of the big reasons that she came out this year was the team that's got the number 1 pick, the Indiana Fever, right in her backyard. So my big issue was, okay, Caitlin, you have a whole nother year of eligibility, which means you could have set all kinds of new records with your extra year of eligibility because of the COVID year. They get 1 extra year. So why are you going to come out now and go to the WNBA? Because again, it would make sense to me if I was a male going to the NBA, making a 7-figure salary and all kinds of money and everything else. But that's not the same as related to women's sports and the WNBA. Just to kind of draw a comparison as to why I was thinking, why is she coming out right now? Because if you're in the NBA, the minimum salary in the NBA, about $1.1 million. Now with the WNBA, the numbers aren't so bright. Caitlin, for her first year, is going to be looking at about $76,000. Wow. 1.1 million, 76,000. Why would Caitlin do this? Especially at the collegiate level, she's got all kinds of NIL endorsements. She's making 7 figures with regards to the different things she's doing right now. Why would someone want to leave that to have a salary on the professional level of only $76,000? Let's take a closer look. Okay, so when you look at her rookie deal, over a course of 4 years, Caitlin's gonna be looking at about $340,000 in terms of salary. Again, when you equate that to the NBA salary, not very much. So why is she doing this? Well, let me tell you exactly why she's doing this. For the other real money that's about to befall her. And let me explain that to you right now. So the biggest reason why she's making this move is because of all the endorsement money that she's going to be making as she moves forward to play professionally. She's got deals with State Farm already, with Gatorade, and the rumors are she's just signed a deal with Nike for over $20 million. And this is absolutely crazy. But this is the Caitlin Clark effect. There is so much more attention now with women's sports, with what's going on at the collegiate level. Look at how many people were viewing that game. The biggest problem that the WNBA had and the women's NCAA had at the time, people were just not watching in big numbers. And when people weren't watching in big numbers, the advertisers are not paying those big bucks. That's why they're going to the males and not the females. But Caitlin is changing all of that. Just to give you a frame of reference, the LSU Iowa game where Caitlin was playing to go to the championship beat out all kinds of male viewership numbers. Those numbers beat out the NBA finals and it beat out the World Series.
This is unbelievable. It's never been done before. Caitlin now garnering this much attention to herself. It is now shining a brighter light on the sport, on women's sports, which is unbelievable. You're seeing all kinds of videos and things on social media complimenting what women are doing, shedding more light, providing more attention, both at the NCAA level and now on the NBA level. And what's going to happen? I'm telling you, you're going to see broader viewership. You're seeing costs of tickets go up because the demand for these things is going up. This is the effect of Caitlin on the sport, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Amazon Prime is getting into the mix because people are demanding the opportunity to watch some of these teams. This hasn't happened before. So now you've got Amazon Prime talking about getting involved, providing access nationally at a level never seen before, which is absolutely fantastic for the sport. With the good, sometimes comes the bad. There's been a lot of very talented women that have come before Caitlin, without any doubt. The problem with these women that have come before Caitlin, and I've got to be honest, many of them have been women of color. And very honestly, the public at large has not been that interested in women of color leading their sports in this fashion. I have to be very honest with you. If it had been a black athlete breaking these records at the rate that she is, you wouldn't be seeing so much attention going into this sport. And it is what it is. But the fact now that women are getting more attention with regards to their sport, which means they're going to be able to earn more, which means they're going to have a greater effect on society at large, these are all good things. So many people now are going on social media and complaining about the fact that, oh, why does she get a shoe deal? How come other women have not gotten shoe deals before as lucrative as what Caitlin's getting? There are two reasons why she got this deal. Number one, Caitlin Clark is supremely talented and she's earned it. She's a fantastic player, she's a good person, and she's going to do very well at the WNBA level. Number two, she's white. She's white. She's white. There, I said it. Have there been many talented black players before her? Absolutely, without any doubt. But the WNBA is not looking for that. They're looking for their white knight, their white princess. And it is what it is. They've got it with Caitlin Clark. But you guys need to understand economics. Miss Clark brings businesses, attention, and money to the scene. A lot of the black female players, they don't. Is it fair? Absolutely not. But it is the system that we're working in. And when you have big dollars chasing Caitlin around, that's where the money's going to be. So get used to it, people. It is what it is. But because of it, we're going to have an effect that's going to help females. It's going to help women's sports. And there's going to be effects that everyone can be able to benefit from this. No woman playing basketball has ever got the attention that Caitlin has. Right or wrong, good or bad. I'm not saying that there haven't been talented athletes before her. There absolutely have. But right now, with social media, with the attention that she's getting, companies are seeing what she's doing, and they're going to where that attention is. So they're giving her the deal. But because of that, people who normally would not buy female shoes, would not be buying from a WNBA athlete, are now buying from her, which means other people are going to benefit. Women of color are going to benefit. The other teams are going to benefit. The economies are going to benefit. And you're also seeing that with regards to the fact the WNBA has now said, hey, we're also going to add additional franchises to the picture. We're going to add in other teams, which means more revenue, more chance for notoriety, more chance for publicity. And those are all good things for women's sports. Last week, the WNBA commissioner announced that Toronto will have an expansion team in 2026. And guys, this is going to be the first of many. There's going to be several other teams that are going to be adding to this. The WNBA is going to have the chance now to market and grow their sport truly. And so that Caitlin effect is directly affecting the lives of the WNBA and women all over this country, and eventually the world. That is a very good thing. Golden State has announced that they're introducing their new team for the WNBA, and Tillman Fertitta here in Houston is debating whether or not the Houston Comets will be coming back. So there is going to be competition now growing for these WNBA teams. We have not seen this before at this level, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so hopefully you've learned something about the WNBA that you didn't know, and the Caitlin Clark effect, and how important it is to the economy, to women, to sports. And one of the things I would strongly suggest in this situation, let's not think about this as a black and white thing. This is something that's positive for women in general. While I don't really love the way in which we got there, the bottom line, we're getting there with regards to bridging that gap between female sports and male sports, economies of scale, and getting women to where they should be paying more because they are owed more. So hopefully you've enjoyed that insight as much as I enjoyed watching Caitlin move forward from one success at the NCAA level now to broad success in the WNBA. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be great for women, and I can't wait to see where this goes next. My name's attorney Darren Miller, and this is DLAW.